Hello, everybody. It's nice to see more and more people coming here. And hello to everybody who is watching us via Hopin. Now, this is an interesting topic that we're going to discuss now. Being a startup founder is one thing, but working at a startup is another one. Is it different from typical corporation or not? We're going to have a fireside chat between Diana Florescu, the head of marketing at Grai UK, and Karolina Dabrowska, the team leader and business developer at HubHub. So please, ladies, come to the stage. Maybe we can give them a little round of applause. So, over to you, Diana and Karolina.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. So glad to see so many people here with us. To be fair, we have over 1,000 people joining us online and here in Warsaw. We are absolutely ecstatic about the diversity that we've had this year. I think I was talking to Mike just before our talk, Carolina, and we have 56 countries this time joining. Obviously, these are not normal times, so it's been an entire roller coaster for us, so thank you for being here. Karolina, how are you feeling today?
Hi, I'm very, very good. Also good to see all of you guys. Actually, that's a pretty interesting introduction to see. Not a lot of people, not a big crowd, but yeah, very excited to be here.
Me too. It's really amazing to finally be in person and connect with people. I think that's something that you simply can't replicate online. So we have a really interesting discussion today. I think we have a lot of startup founders and investors watching us, as well as corporations. And you had an amazing career so far, and also your role with HubHub. You work for both corporations and startups. I think it's very interesting to look at both sides, and what I really want to talk to you today is maybe round up some opinions about how this crisis, the pandemic, has really shifted cultures in both worlds. And maybe we can start with sharing your own personal experience. And for example, with HubHub, what have you seen? What changes have you seen in a co-working space and among your own customers since the pandemic happened?
Yeah, so that's definitely a very interesting topic, starting from the fact that I personally believe that there are corporations that are adapting startup cultures, and also there are startups that inherited or adapted corporations' cultures, and it works for them. So in my opinion, it's very hard to pick between both if you don't really look into that very deeply and have a reflection and decide what's the best for you, right? So it's not like we are debating here what's better or worse. Thinking of HubHub and how COVID changed things, I also believe that this is a really interesting moment to see all the opportunities around, be very open, stay very calm and patient, and react to the market, react what the future brings for us. It's been obviously a challenging time for co-working industry, for all real estate industry. However, as I say, we try to see all possible opportunities and react to the client's needs. We also shifting a little bit our product. We see that people want to work in a rotation model. It's very popular, the hybrid model, so we have an offer for them for that. Obviously, safety first, so our spaces are super safe, and that's how we changed, right? And I personally think that it's going to stay for longer. And it's really, really interesting to observe how differently corporations, bigger corporations, smaller companies are approaching the COVID situation. So that's also is directly linked to the culture. How does it influence the culture?
Absolutely. And I think there's there's stereotypes, right, on both sides. Corporations, naturally, because of the sheer volume of people and the different geographies they cover, the large corporations, they embrace change at a much slower pace than startups. So some may say that COVID was actually, one of the reasons for accelerating digitalization or even embracing new innovation models to try to stay abreast with these times. And still, I was actually reading, there was, in Wall Street Journal, there was a report about even the startups as well, so both startups and corporations. People were not that productive as they thought. I know remote working has been around for a very long time, but these are not normal times, are they? Have you seen a change in even the people coming back to HubHub, the coworking space? And I think you would probably describe it more as a community rather than a coworking space. Do people want to come back to work?
They do, and it's another very interesting topic, how the leadership team or the board is approaching this situation, because I've been experiencing the decisions that we stay home, we don't open our premises, even not for another 6-8 months, and this is like one extreme example, or it's so badly affecting our company culture that we have to be back, and there is an announcement that we are back as of, let's say, 1st of August. So in both cases, when we talk about something extreme and maybe a little bit forcing people to, do the things, the engagement and all motivation and things that probably could be good for another panel are dying really, and it's all about balance, in my opinion. So the majority of our companies that are sitting in HubHub are actually choosing this hybrid model. That's why probably offering the rotation model was a good idea, because they really rotate, they really work from home. And the big question is always, and I'm not afraid of saying this, do you trust your people enough to work from home, or do you trust enough your people to choose for them what's the best? Work from office, work from home. I think the era of working from 9 to 5, swiping the card and checking people whether they really working 8 hours per day is over. So that's probably impacting a lot of corporations, but not only. That's another stereotype. We might talk about it. Also, smaller startups like 15, 20 people, companies I've seen, they've been either forced to stay home or to be back, which I find not the best solution.
Yeah, I think it's, one thing about this talk really, it's more about looking at the bright side, if you can say there's a bright side of what just happened. And I do believe that during these times of crisis, there's a lot of great things that could happen. And I think for corporations, especially the more, let's say, the ones that are reluctant to change, I think they just woken up to a completely new era about a matter of trust, a matter of leadership. And what you said just fits perfectly, and maybe that's a topic for a different conversation. One thing that I want to ask you is, where are we going with the coworking space as a sector or as an industry? Because you've got, on one side, you've got people that are absolutely dying to come back to work, and the community that you have. And then you have the likes of Twitter, where the founder, I think, announced that everyone is free to work from home for life, if that's something that we can say. Also the likes of Google, which is not surprising, they want to build their own campus. So there's their own place, retail, with housing, and potentially to work from the same place.
Yeah, I've heard about it, and it's also quite interesting where some companies are leading or going to. For coworking industry, I believe flexibility will be the first thing that we will be always talking about, and saying that, look, I'm not saying that the traditional lease will die, because obviously this will be still a point to choose. However, you can choose to work in a co-work, have a 1-month notice period if you decide, or if the situation and current times are not the most comfortable, will make you change your mind. We are always happy to talk to you, and of course, if you decide to terminate the contract with us, you can do it at any point. I also see that desks, not only offices, but really desks in an open space is something that people are choosing. So they want to be surrounded by people, they want to interact, and it's a normal thing. We, as a human being, we want to have this interaction, but they want to decide, they want to have this flexibility. So I believe this is a good moment and an opportunity for co-works. Still unpredictable time, so I can't really say what's going to happen next month. Today we hit another record in Poland, and we know it's not the best time, but the flexibility plus thinking of online, for our community, we are preparing something similar, not want to say that same, but we are working on some platform that we will be able to connect people, and our community was always the most important for us. So we are providing startups with support, with linking, networking people, and we want to do that online as well. So possibly next year we will be able to share more and announce some more news about that.
Perfect. And I believe we talked just about the session we're having that HubHub is not just in Poland, correct? So I think...
Yeah, 5 countries in Europe, yeah.
Right. How do you... I mean, I can imagine there's different restrictions and there's a different community across countries. How do you manage all these changes across all the different offices? Are different restrictions and different measures taken in the London office, I assume?
I think the biggest difference was always with UK. So everything, once it started, we could hear that UK is having slightly different approach than other countries. So CE countries, we have Hungary, Poland, Czech Republic, and Slovakia. In Slovakia, we have a headquarter. So it was slightly different approach. We tried to apply the same measures and rules because they were quite similar. However, not everywhere we can do that. So, for example, in Poland, wearing masks is not obligatory. We really encourage to do that, while in Czech Republic, it is obligatory. So it's hard to, and UK, it's another example again, right now. So it's hard to apply the same rules. However, some countries are more experienced with COVID cases and how they handle things in their premises, and we really work together, share and share the experience, unfortunate experience, but it's also worth to talk to all the countries how to handle things. So yeah.
Of course. I think I'm going to have one more question before we wrap up, and maybe it's one of those futuristic questions. If you can predict the future. We are almost at the end of 2020. It's been an interesting year for all of us. What do you expect to be some sort of emerging idea or concept in your sector? What do you think will be the next big thing in the co-working space, or if we can say maybe the retail space, right?
Yeah, I think it all depends on our level of acceptance online, in a sense that, there are many of different webinars and many of different online trainings, and do we really want to participate in that? What kind of online possibilities are really bringing the biggest value? So I'll probably repeat myself. We want for our community the best value provided online, the best tools that we can use so it's effective and efficient. So that's probably the one thing. Predicting the future, it's quite a difficult thing. However, I believe the hybrid model, and if you will stay open, if you will let people choose and trust in people that they do their job, that they don't have to, swipe this card at 9 a.m. and then swipe back at 5 p.m. and that's how you measure the effectiveness, then I think you will win, right? Because you can finish your work at 3 p.m., pick up your kid from the nursery, and then continue at 6 p.m., and you are as effective as, probably even more as you could be working from 9 to 5. If you decide to be back in the office, you can do that as well. So I think this is really important also to be open, observe what's happening, react to the market, and be really open for what the future brings. Hard to predict. I'm trying to look at the bright side always. But that's probably what I can say about co-working, flexibility online, and be open and stay positive.
Thank you very much. And you mentioned hybrid. I think hybrid is going to become a word that's going to be more and more used in different sectors. For Wolf Summit as well, it's the first time that we're doing a hybrid event. I think it's just the beginning. There's a lot of potential in here. I think the event sector as well and the retail space is going to grow just hugely. A lot of interesting startups will come. And I would love to obviously stay in touch and talk and see where HubHub is going in the year to come. Thank you very much for joining us today. And thank you all for watching. We'll be back with another panel, especially about circular economy. We have space tech. This year, I have to say, I think we never had an eclectic or more eclectic agenda. We'll see you soon. Thank you again for watching.
Thank you very much.